as you can see in this fantabulous episode, we are going to be playing Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem. Welcome. Come on in. Have a seat. I am Dark Soldier 420 for Wixatic Gaming Corner. When we left off in the last episode, we just kind of finished the quote-unquote tutorial, and we had picked our enemy, as it were, and we're going to play the next chapter in the story. And I believe I had said at one point that I was going to try and do one chapter per episode, and I guess we'll have to see how long said chapter takes, if I can actually fit one in. So, let's go. Now, if I remember correctly, like I said, yeah, we just finished. I wonder what that one is. Alright, we'll go with this one. That's the one that we had chosen blue. And the reason I said blue, I believe, was because yeah, I don't remember why I said blue. It's Ranger Magic. I know that. So this is the next chapter. It says, strangely, with the Tome of Eternal Darkness in her possession, Alex can read the page. It is a chapter page from the tome itself. Should Alex take the chapter page? Yes. Alex has found a chapter page entitled The Binding of the Corpse God. Now, there's a lot of backstory and a lot of cutscenes. Well, not a lot, but there are quite a few cutscenes. So now we need to access our inventory and use this.
I cannot say what was the true beginning, nor am I sure of its end. So perhaps here is the best place to start. I am reminded of ideas I first encountered in Sir James George Fraser's book, The Golden Bough, a study in magic and religion. We are overwhelmed by a very human need to weave a web of meaning where there may be none. Since time immemorial, ancient peoples have dressed up their lack of knowledge as gods and demons. I have discovered that sometimes the fates of gods and mortals intertwine, and legends are born.
Well, that was kind of not cool.
Thy time is done, great ancient. Forever in shadow will you be master of chaos, and to fade to nothing in obscurity will be thy fate. My master has planned many millennia for this day. It is the true chaos of all things that you now must be entombed amongst the beings of flesh and bone.
You have a great monument here, Mantarok. It is a pity that no one will ever recognize it as yours. May the darkness claim thee, crawling chaos and damned beast. No longer will thy reign be kept over the ancients you have kept imprisoned. Thou hast seen the last of this world.
Mythical fables can keep me amused. There has to be something to do around here. I only wish something that fantastic and of higher purpose could happen to me.
Oh no, then all of a sudden we get sealed in the tomb. Okay, so let me take a minute and see if I can figure out what my buttons are again. Okay, that's sword, that's nothing, that's nothing, that's nothing. That's nothing, that's nothing, that's... Oh, that's... Yeah, okay, and this is... Okay. One of these, okay, that's run. Alright, so... This basically just shows the same thing that we saw in the first episode where, you know, blue is more powerful against green, green against red, red against blue, and purple is kind of powerful against all of them. A triangular design is carved into the floor. The edge grooves are filled with colored sand. These symbols appear to be related to each other, with one having precedence over another. It doesn't really say much other than that. So, one of the things about this game is it's kind of like others where, oh, hey look, cool little necklace. The statue of a goddess, delicately sculpted from sandstone and casts an alert eye over everyone who enters the temple. There is a strange necklace about its neck. Should Elia take the necklace from the statue? Yes. Elia has acquired a strange necklace that, as time goes on, oh, that's not cool. The necklace can be used to heal Elia. Make sure that Elia does not move when the spell is being cast. That's very important. So if there's enemies in the room and you're trying to heal yourself, you got to be careful. You got to try and run away from them. Anyway, this game basically, as you progress, you get more and more powers, so to speak. So, and you have to be careful too. Because it's one thing. Engraved on the floor is a striking design featuring the sun sinking below the edge of the world. So it's one thing to... The design on the wall appears to depict a time of the day. Perhaps the candles do too. That's a good assumption, huh? So it's one thing to... I don't remember what I was trying to say. Oops. Too bad that one automatically makes it so that you do that. So now I have to avoid these blades, as well as trying to avoid some of the other stepping areas. So these guys aren't gonna come awake yet. It's not their time, I don't think. So if you're careful, you can actually avoid the spots on the floor. It's not easy, but you can do it. I'm gonna get sealed in here. Probably gonna have to fight. Yep, red guy. When located by creatures, a sanity loss occurs, causing a decrease in the level of the sanity meter, and the character defaults green. Beware, sanity loss affects perception and eventually health. See, don't you just love how it does that? Sanity meter. This meter represents a character's sanity. Every time he/she meets a monster, his/her sanity will get lower. The lower the sanity meter gets, the more the character will hallucinate. Isn't that what we just basically read? So as long as you're careful, you can actually do really good with these characters. Performing a finishing move on a creature recovers sanity. So they'll kind of flash like that, and then you can perform a finishing move, which then brings more sanity to you. I guess one of the disadvantages to this particular game is you can't actually turn the camera. It's a fixed camera. So the design on the wall appears to depict a time of day. Perhaps the candles do too. Press Y, A, and X to light or extinguish the candles. So which one is... No. Whoops. There we go. So then it brings that down a little bit. And it brings this one down a little bit. Now, on my way back through, a bronze necklace sits atop an ancient clay urn. We'll pick it up. So now you found a bronze necklace. On my way back through, I think these guys come to life at some point, but I'm not sure. And you have to try and avoid these the best you can. It's not always easy, but it can be done. As long as you're not like running, you should be able to do it. Alright, there we go. Oh, dang it. Whoops. Finish him. Finish him. Finish him. Oh, what? Finish him. Oh my gosh. There. Holy cow. Oh, silly. So, yeah, like I said, unfortunately, there's no way to turn the camera. It gets a little annoying sometimes because you can't see very well. But now we have to use this necklace on the statue. And it'll open that up. I wonder... Yeah, okay. One thing about playing this game, if you've played it multiple times like I have, sometimes you tend to forget what parts do what, and you kind of mix them all together. So, it looks like that one's okay. We don't want to examine that because we don't care. We're going to try to avoid that. Avoid this. And these traps they're not like really hard, but to avoid, that is, if you're careful, because they do make them. Now we got a green one. One thing about this one is it has a phantom limb. If that makes any sense. So, So yeah, I mean, it's kind of sad that Silicon Knights kind of went down after this game, because I love this game, and it can be pretty dang freaky. Especially if you get like some surround sound going on and things like that. You get the sound and it gets really, really creepy. I personally think it's really well done. A lot of times when scenes like that happen, you kind of get confused because you don't know which door you just... Dang it. Door you came through. And this might actually be the wrong... No, it's not. Okay. Good. So is there a reason I have to go that way? Can't remember. I don't think there is, but I guess I can... No, I don't think there is. It's just the hallway. Let's see. I do believe there's a map. Yeah. So this is the hallway that just connects that. So, yeah, we've just kind of been in a really big square. So we have to... We examine this... Detail. A small pedestal covered with decorative etchings stands before the wall. The blowgun upon it must have some special significance for it to be the focal point of this display. Should you take the blowgun? Yes. Once you take the blowgun... Oh no, the trapdoor. You lose the blowgun because it's in your hand. Oh no, maybe it's your blade that breaks. That's right. I forgot.
Secret passage in the temple.
And you have a chance to save this guy. No. okay. You have to run. You've poisoned them, so you just have to run until the poison finally kills them. Because eventually they will die. And when they do that, you want to get way out of the way. Because they will explode eventually. Like that. And I can't finish them, so now I can come talk to this guy. The guard is grateful for Elia saving his life. In return, he offers to repair Elia's broken weapon as a gesture of thanks. Do you want to repair Elia's short sword? Well, yes, of course. He casts a spell. Item has been repaired. Thank you very much, sir. Alright, now we're going to go back to our inventory. We're actually going to equip the short sword. As much as we love the blowgun, because it poisons people, I don't want to play with it anymore. So we have to avoid. Now, some of these traps, like that one for instance, goes all the way across the floor. There's no way to avoid it. You can't jump. You have to actually step on it. Then it starts these things, which, ow, they're not extremely hard to avoid, but I should have ran right there instead of just walking like I did. So we're doing okay. So this gives you a little indication of what you need to do. Oh no, we got monsters. Just cut off their heads, arms. It's done. Finish him so we can get our sanity back. Finish him so we can get our sanity back. A lot of times, I mean not a lot of times, sometimes you end up with more than just a couple of things. A couple of enemies in your thing, in your room, in your area. So here's another unavoidable thing, which then starts these darts. Here's another one I think is unavoidable, and it starts these blades and the... So, we will run across like this. You gotta be careful, because... And sometimes you can just let these guys battle it out. Uh-oh, he's gonna explode. So we're gonna come over here and, let those gentlemen battle it out. Right, so there's nothing in this room that we can examine a bunch of stuff, but I'm not going to take the time. So this is the hallway. And one thing about this game is you will stop your stamina and you won't be able to run anymore.
Stop! Don't go near it!
So, you are reduced to feeding on flesh and bone, Mantarok. How the mighty have fallen. You will surely fester for millennia to come. A slow and torturous fate for thee. You had best leave, young fool, or you will find yourself as food for the dead god.
Well, apparently that's not what's going to happen.
You are one of the chosen many. Flesh and blood. It is now your destiny to fight the eternal darkness. I give you a gift in return for an obligation. The gift is your life, sweet dancer. The obligation is this. You hold one of Mantarok's hearts, the essence of the corpse god. The summit is a source of great power. From those people, you must defend it, lest they use it to destroy what little brightness your world has left in it. Guard it well.
It's kind of like, oh, gee, thanks. Alright, so now we have to grab this staff up here. Metal staff is held by the arms of the statue. Pick it up. You have acquired the metal staff. Okay. Now comes a little bit of fun. Not really, but a little bit of fun. Because, I don't know if you noticed, but back in that one room, and we have to be careful because we're going back through, and like I said, the camera angle will not change. So it's, oh, this right. This isn't the hallway we have to worry about. A lot of times you can actually just run away from them, but so you can, because sometimes it doesn't really matter, like you don't have to sit and attack them. It just makes it easier if you do, because the next time you come through you don't have to worry about trying to run away from them. So, but it gets kind of confusing sometimes in these rooms because they look fairly similar. And I believe this is where we potentially run into... Whoops. Yeah, we'll just let him get hit. If we get hit, it's no big deal. We can survive. We'll just run. Hopefully we don't get hit by too much. Okay. So now we're in this room again. And what I was going to say, if you noticed, oh! In this room, there was a spot you could put something. That something actually happens to be the staff that we just acquired. And if you notice that the room has kind of started to tilt, that is because of the sanity that I had lost. And the cool thing about this game is it, like, seriously can mess with your head. And I guess one of these times, I'm sure I will lose a ton of sanity, and we will see what happens. Anyway, so we need to use the staff on this spot here. So go to this, use the metal staff in there. And what does that do? Why, it opens a door clear back in this room. Alright, so now what do we have to do? We have to go all the way back through everything, and this is what I meant by it getting confusing. And yeah, see how my stamina ran out? Now, had I not killed the monsters in here, they would have been here again, and my stamina, had it run, it ran out, they could have potentially came and attacked me, which would not have been good, of course. So, the sanity meter is really cool. I really like it. I would love if, for whatever reason, somebody else was able to pick up the license on this and make a newer, crisper, cleaner version. I would love it. I would definitely buy it.
should have run. Instead, you will die. Where is the essence of Mantarok? Where is it? I will not ask again, child. Very well, then. You will succumb to the horrors of oblivion.
That's a lovely green screen. Well, chapter complete. Well, hey, look, we have a puzzle we have to figure out. Yeah, I couldn't imagine what it would do for your sanity to, be having to deal with this. In the year 2000, when this game supposedly takes place, when the game is written to have taken place. Okay, anyway, we'll examine this and detail small shrine of candles. Their placement appears to be very deliberate, corresponding to etchings on the table and an illustration upon the wall. Some of the candles have been lit, so we're going to extinguish the X candle and the A candle. Look at that. It opens a secret panel, and lo and behold, the correct sequence of candles being lit, a hidden panel opens, there is a message tube inside. We'll pick that up. We found a message tube. Alright, so now let's come back here, and we shall examine, we'll check the message tube. An antique leather-bound message tube, the kind used to transport sealed message scrolls. It appears to be unopened. There might be something inside. Should Alex open it? Yes, Alex, open it. Alex has found a chapter page entitled Suspicion of Conspiracy. Awesome.
Thy presence is long missed, my liege.
The universe is a yawning chasm, filled with emptiness and the puerile meanderings of sentience. Why should you deserve special consideration within it, Augustus, above all else?
I am your servant, my lord. As always. That and nothing more.
Yes, that and nothing more. What revelations do you bring me?
My meditations reveal a flaw in our plan.
Our plan, Augustus? Mantarok is a shadow ebbing in the light of our glory. It and the others are slow, weak, bound by the realm of the universe. Unable to unite to fight a common foe, they will fall one by one. Unfortunately, this is beyond your understanding. The binding of Mantarok will seal their fate as its power over us is diminished. Such an irony that the Keeper itself be imprisoned within the walls of its own magic.
But what of its essence? Is that not the core of its remaining power?
Upon my seeping into the corporeal world, I will be the dominant over all, Mantarok included. Your worries are unfounded. You must turn your attention to Charlemagne the Frank. His continued presence within the world is far more serious to our cause.
As you wish, Master. He will be dead before the week is out.
After the chapter page is removed, the message tube is no longer needed. Alex discards it. Alrighty. I think I'm going to leave this episode here. We just got our first look at our enemy. Just looks like one big giant eyeball, whatever. It's a pretty scary dude. So I think these one chapter per videos will work out pretty good for a while. As we progress, some of the chapters get a little longer, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, so anyway, if you liked it, don't forget to kick that like button in the teeth. And I guess if you didn't like it, you can go ahead and kick the dislike button in the teeth. Please subscribe. Tell people. And if you subscribe, you'll find out when I upload videos. And I try to upload videos at least every other day. Sometimes, if I'm lucky and I can squeeze the time in between family and work, I will get videos made, and I try to upload videos every day. So it just really depends. But anyway, this is Dark Soldier 424, Wix Edit Gaming Corner, and I'm out.